It's part 6 of our conversation with drummer Pick Withers, formerly of Dire Straits. I'm John Beaudin from Rocky Street Music.
I worked in a studio once at Rockfield, great studio, and it was great for me because it was about 3 years. I rented a cottage, and I could stay in the same place for 2 or 3 years and put down some roots. And I had a kit in the house that I could practice on. Didn't have to take it to bits and put it down the studio, so I could practice and stuff. And my house became something. It was like a little cottage outside the town, little stream around the edge of the property, and I baked bread. And people used to come up. And all the waifs and strays, or all the teenagers that weren't getting on with their parents. We had 7 people in the house or something, just listening to albums and stuff, and making tea and doing stuff with other stuff as well. And we absorbed the music. But there was one kid who was having a hard time. He was a drummer, and he came up to me once. He said, "Pick, my dad's been beating me up. Can I come and stay here?" I said, "Of course you can, Nick, but I think you should stay here." But it's a very small cottage, and I would like you to not pressurize you, but I want you to find somewhere else. I'm not offering you a permanent place. I just chill out here. You're very welcome. But, after about 6 weeks, I said, "Nick, are you looking for anywhere to live?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, I did say that. I did explain to you. I know you came under in trying circumstances, and I was happy to help you, but it's been 6 weeks now. And you're not even trying to find somewhere. The house is too small." He said, "I'm faster than you." It's like gunslinging. He's a drummer. He was a drummer.
Oh.
Instead of the pistols at dawn, it was the sticks. The sticks at, "I'm faster than you." It's nothing in itself, but there is that element to drumming that people, it's a kind of visceral aspect that it sells tickets for some people.
The attitude that maybe a guitarist or a member of the band or whatever, a singer, would have towards what the contributions of a drummer would be, of going, do they get that it's just as important? Or you'd mentioned that in that last interview that I was prefacing a while ago.
I think some people think drums are a function and not part of the dialogue. I worked with Jerry Rafferty and did a couple of songs on
Sleepwalking.
And I'm really pleased with it, but he would sit you down and he wanted specifically things, and it's hard to kind of do it, because then you really, what you should do then is write it. And I was never a great reader, because I'm self-schooled a lot of the time. I've learned how to read, but I don't read scores, And it's one of my biggest regrets that I didn't take time out to actually really apply myself to that as much as I've applied to the pad and working, because I think it would, be incredibly useful, and it's almost essential today.
There's that thing about a lot of people hate reading notation. It's. I mean, I understand what you mean.
It's just a map. It's just a roadmap. If you're a good reader, you don't really hang on the word of the written things. You just, Gad sometimes just uses sax parts, as kind of reference. Yeah. It's just a roadmap. It's just, when does it stop? When does it start? As opposed to relying on your instinct of, 8 bars, 16 bars. That's all it is. It's not a,
Yeah.
And a specific thing halfway through the song that somebody wants you to do to reassure them. Like a singer. Well, when do I come in? I'll do this. Rabba dooba dooba da. And then you come in. But if you don't do that, we didn't do it. Well, I did something similar. No, do that. It's
right.
Just, it's being flexible. You're there. You're not there for your own purposes. You're there to make the music as good as it can be, to make people feel as good as they can be, in that environment. Offer reassurance, don't play too loud.
Yeah.
And that is one of the things that is always laid on the drummer's charge sheet, all the jokes about the drummers, how do you know a drummer's knocking at the door because he speeds up, what do you call a guy that's fallen out with his girlfriend? What do you call a drummer that's fallen out with his girlfriend? homeless. You know, how do you know a stage is level? Because the drummer dribbles out both sides of his mouth. And they just go on. Yeah, it is. You know, what do you call somebody who hangs around with musicians? A drummer.
We'll have more from the great Pick Withers coming up in the next 2 days. Make sure you comment on our video, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Music.